Good evening, Supercoaches. It's head-to-head finals, do or die week this week. So we are looking at what you should be doing this week. Firstly, I should say hello to my companions and co-panelists. How are we tonight, fellas?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Always fantastic. You know how I get.
I do.
You do.
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, good. How's the week that was? Both still alive, I understand.
Still alive.
Dun it.
Can't believe it.
Fucking sneaking around the cash, lads. Lovely.
Just got there.
Yeah, that's good. Good. So what, you snuck home on updates?
No. Not that close.
Yeah.
But, it came down to Sunday. I had no players playing. He still had 3 to play.
Oh, the Pidge.
Yeah. And he, just pipped at the post. So,
Oh.
but not much in it, man. Like, a try or a
Well,
try assist, you know what I
Last
mean?
time I looked, you were behind, and then Berg said today you made it through. I'm like, oh shit, what? I thought he was done, but obviously he got there on updates.
Yeah.
And
Well done, Juzzy, mind you. This week, another tough matchup with
Up against
Watto.
Watto.
they're all tough matchups this time of year.
Well, they are,
That's crazy, man. That's the thing. I was looking at the league, and I'm like, I can't believe some of the people who I'm up against, because I've seen these guys take out cash leagues multiple times. And it's
Well,
just
you've
like,
paid him.
ooh.
You know what I mean? You've paid him out of the out allegeds.
So it's like, whoa, mate, here we go. Can we actually do this? It's a tough matchup this week too. He's Cowboys heavy, very Cowboys heavy.
And what do you got to counteract that?
Dunno.
Anything or
I'm Panthers heavy.
so
Up against Souths. half
not the
spine
halves,
missing.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a little bit worried about which way I go and what I do.
Which we will address that later in the show. Like, we do want to talk your team and I want to talk yours as well. Like, just I don't want to get in depth what you're going to do, but I just want to know if you're confident with where your teams are at this time of year. Like, being in head-to-head finals and giving up on overall glory, obviously. But are you confident with where your teams are at? What about you? Like, Con, for you?
I'm happily confident.
Yeah.
That's why I gave up on overall 8 weeks ago.
To focus on this moment, yeah.
Happily sitting with still 3 trades left.
So you can do anything you
I
want.
think 21 available guns this week. So yeah, pretty happy where I'm sitting. And
And who's your matchup this week?
Jacko,
Oh, the Pidge.
I'm versing the pitch.
So Jacko made it through there, but
Yeah.
not through to here. So, and you're up against Watto. We find Watto on the Supercoach Discord hub plus
Supercoach
week-
Hub Discord, yeah.
yeah, plus the weekly rubdown pod. I don't know if it's still going this time of year, but definitely draft heavy early on in the year, and they do their own Discord as well over there, and Watto's heavily involved with that. So keep an eye out for him. He obviously does well head to head. He's made it through to quite a large cashy. Like, it's a big pool cashy. Spewing went on in it, but anyway.
Solid team.
Looking across the board, like through the year, a lot of them had established teams early too. Like, they made some right choices early, and
Well, I think he's been in the top 1,000 all year. I think he's just sitting outside it right now.
yeah. So anyway, you just go and have a bit of a chat. I'm going to do some shares.
Well, it's the time of year, isn't it, Con? It's do or die Supercoach.
It is.
I mean, that's it. If you're still alive in the head-to-head finals, I know that this time of year there's a lot of people that have stopped playing the game, but you're still alive in head-to-head finals. How do you get through it? Because this is the first time I've ever been here and actually still alive in the game. I'm usually out in the first couple of weeks because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Wasn't really paying attention. Whereas this year, obviously, there's a bit on the line. So, and I've taken it, like, there's been some big names in this league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, some guys who I know who are really good at this and have done pretty well throughout the year. You've come back like an absolute champion this year.
No, my ranking's still shit, but
Are you beating me overall?
I don't know. I haven't really looked.
Where are you sitting?
I don't know.
You really you haven't even paid attention to it, legit.
Nope.
Because that's, I mean, you did say you were switching off and just going straight to head. So then, how have you concentrated your head to head to get you to this point in the finals? You know, like, do you have 4 trades left by any chance, or?
I got 3 trades left.
Wow.
I look forward to, about probably Origin time. I look forward to these head-to-head rounds, the finals time, and I just started building my team towards the best matchups throughout those weeks. And here I am with trades to spare, and pretty happy.
Yeah, obviously.
Got 5 Cowboys this week against the Warriors, so that's nice. We've got a couple of Roosters, or we'll have a couple more Roosters against the Tigers this week.
Yeah.
I'll bring in Manu and probably Suoliti. And
Cash heavy, bud.
I've got 450k in the bank.
Lovely.
A couple of fringe guns that can be spared, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, I'm in a situation.
Does that set you up for next week, though? Like,
not really. Chooks don't have a favourable matchup next week, but I do have a couple of Panthers sitting there.
who do have a good
not
matchup?
using at the moment, then I'll use my last trade to probably bring in the Panther next week. I haven't looked at the matchups next week, but
I just know that, this week they're not so pretty, but next week they're okay.
next week they got the Warriors.
So, yeah. But, matchup-wise this week, seeing as it is head-to-head finals, we're going to be looking for points and where to find them. No, that's yours.
Well, first game of the round, we've got Panthers South Thursday night. What are we expecting here? I mean, I think both teams are capable of conceding points. Well,
I think everyone's just holding their breath to see what Latrell does.
it's it, the Tari Ferrari.
If he gets rested with his groin, which would be the smart thing in my opinion. Not just saying that because Jacko has him and I don't. But then it's pretty much Supercoach irrelevant games. Pretty much only Cameron Murray who's going to do his shit either way. And then Alex Johnson on the wing who might see a try, might not.
Yeah.
The way he's been scoring them lately.
You back him in,
fine.
yeah.
And then Penrith boys, your forwards will do their shit and can't see many points for their outside backs again.
Yeah, same. So
It's not crisp. Like, the forwards do their job. Like,
Taruva named again. Taylor may not expect it back until at least next week.
Mm-mm. So really, that's it. It's only Tungo really out there, and I'd sit him this week.
You'd sit him. You wouldn't even play him.
I'm not playing him.
no. But in saying that, he's the most likely.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
him or Kicks. Actually, I'm backing for a try this week probably.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a rough one to pick players in. I think if Latrell plays and his groin's okay, he'll do his own thing again.
Yeah, South just keep rolling on.
Yeah, but if he don't play, it's a different game again. It's going to be a bit more of a...
Dylan Edwards back helps Panthers a lot. They missed him big time last week with the other two out on top of that. So that's a plus there, with their defence.
Yeah. And then, so the matchups where I'd be looking to pull players from... Sure. So with the matchups this week, I think probably the juiciest place to find a VC this week will be the Cows game.
That's it. Second game of the round against the Warriors, aren't they?
I think that's probably the juiciest place to look for a VC if you don't want to hold out for a Nico.
Who are you VCing in that game, though? Who are you backing to get points? Because they got possible points all over the place. Felt is back from injury.
So just back to that other one, sorry. We should give you the quick ins and outs. So Trell's named, obviously, but obviously watch closely in the hour before kick-off. Campbell Graham returns from a fractured cheekbone in the centre, so Jackson Paulo pushed out to the wing with Isaac Thompson, drops to the reserves. Apparently Juzzy was saying that he's the most traded player in this week.
Yeah, because he's enough that's projected to make cash.
Well, I'm assuming they're getting him in with the intention of Latrell not playing and him keeping that wing spot. I don't know. But that's the only reason I can think of getting him in.
Yeah.
Lachlan Ilias is back. And Daniel Saluka's back in the starting side after missing last week with a back soreness. And Panthers, Edwards back. So Charlie Staines goes to the bench and Robert Jennings, 18th man. Why would you have Charlie Staines on the bench?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Just a waste. Liam Martin's been cleared after rolling his ankle. I'm really surprised by that because he looked like he was in serious pain when he did that.
Cheering, though.
So Taruva keeps his spot on the wing because May's still another week away as well.
Yep. Yeah, losing Martin last week was a big loss for sure.
So then, in the Cows game, I'd be strongly looking at Val, Drinky, Cotter, and Lolo to a very lesser extent. I didn't even play Lolo last week with Cotter getting named because I just knew it'd sort of been. And with the bench they had, I seen Lolo, the one getting the rest. He's been up for a couple of weeks now, so I can see that happening again this week too, maybe, especially if they get in front. So, seeing as Rubes has had a few weeks off, granted he had an injury, but he still had a few weeks off getting punished. So, I can see him
minutes in Cotter before the finals.
I can see him just stepping up a bit more. Don't know about tries, but he could be a bit of a pod VC. Like, ideally, you want to whack it on the Vows and the Drinkies who've got the high ceiling.
I got Vow, Drinky, Nanai.
I'm scared of Nanai.
Ones, and then I got the Cotter, Robson, Lolo as your pods who don't have the great ceiling.
Well, Pete Elser here, he said, will Nanai finally stand up and be counted after 36 and 35 in back-to-back weeks? So it's one of the things. He is heavily reliant on attacking stats, Nanai, but does seem to find them a lot of the time.
If you look before that, but he had like an 8-week run where I think his lowest score was a 56 or something. Most of them were over 70s.
Yeah.
One of them was 150 or something.
But since Origin, has he done much? Or yeah, he has. Only. But yeah, for me, high ceiling players is where you want to whack your VC, just on the in case they do go large, and then it makes it sort of worth your loop. Especially this time of year, you can't really afford to get sucked in with an AE or something like Ben Travojevic played again last week. I know a few people have still got him stuck.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the dicey thing then. If you do run your loop with your high ceiling player, you could end up with a Travojevic or something in your side if you're not careful.
Well, with Nanai, this is the first time he's gone under 50 since round 8.
Yeah.
He has missed a few games in there with resting Origin and whatnot. But he had a 59, 50, 63, 91, 75, 77, 70, 104, 158, and then those two back-to-back little weeks. So I'm assuming everyone's jumped on after the 104 or 158, caught these two little ones, and now they want to return.
Yeah, well, you do sort of want that return when you buy a player for whatever it is expensive, I think.
But you jumped on at the top, didn't you?
He's 721,000 now still.
Wow. But yeah, so and then I'd even look at a VC, depending on your matchups as well, and your AEs, like we've talked about, just send Ben Travojevic getting runs. But if you don't have AEs like where your AEs are pulling 50s, I can see you even looking into the Sharks game for a Nico or Ronaldo for a VC, just because I think it's, especially if you're only pulling a 50 off the bench anyway, like as your AE, I'd be heavily looking at VCing rather than just balls and straight up in case Nico does have a...
No, you don't want to. Your captain's coming out of the next game.
Well, I think so. I think if you don't own one of these three dudes, you're in trouble. Oh, yeah, we can. I'm just talking about the games that I got there.
No, let's go. Yeah, let's go through.
Will you go talk to
He's initiated about 3 things.
All right, well, for the other game, the Cowboys, Kyle Felt's back, so Hammer goes back to the bench. Jamin Tanua-Brown goes to the 18th man, and McLean starts over Cohen Hess. And the Warriors are unchanged after smacking the Berries last week.
And what a smacking it was at Mount Smart, and the people there were absolutely loving it. And you know what? Good on them.
They deserve it.
I bet they're they're cheering to be home, and it looks like their fans are really happy to have them home too. So good on them.
Yeah, we'll spewing. But anyway, that's football, mate. We turned up not wanting to play, so...
So it's the second Friday night game?
No, this would be the Saturday day game.
No, Broncos Storm.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Broncos Storm.
Wait, you want the ins and outs now?
Yeah, mate.
There you
go. No changes to the Broncos, and Jerome Hughes back after missing last week. The young tournament Pierre will start at centre, and Marion Savage dropping out due to a hamstring.
So Cooper Johns drops out as well? For Hughes to come back, yeah?
Yeah, well, I'm assuming, yeah, straight out.
Or is Munster's not named at fullback?
He's not, but...
I'll be waiting, watch for the late
I mean, it could have been
But
a late change just because Dylan
In
Edwards was
saying
out.
that, Cooper Johns isn't even in the 22-man squad.
Yeah, so he's dropped right out. Yeah,
So unless they're going to play Meany at 6.
which they might do.
He's played a couple of games there now. Nick does okay, holds his own. I can see them just doing what we talked about
Jaden
before.
Nicarima or Tyron Wishart maybe.
Yeah,
But surely they got to leave Munster at 1.
yeah, he's just so much more effective. Like,
He's so
Just their
dynamic, man.
attacks, just, yeah.
He's insane.
yeah. So what would you look for a VC or anything in that game? I
Just
wouldn't
play your Munster, play your Huss and take your points.
take your points. Then what's the next day game? What's the first day game on the Saturday? I don't have that written down.
Now, Parramatta Bulldogs. So
Um,
not a terrible matchup for Parramatta if the Bulldogs turn up like they did last week.
Oh, I can see a better game from us. I think they were the turning point for us. If I remember correctly, we went in and rolled them out of nowhere. And from then we sort of backed ourselves in a little bit. We grew an inch. For me, I don't think it's a walk-up start for Para. They're back to doing Parramatta stuff. Like, come finals time at the end of the year, they look a bit burnt out. They're just not fresh and crisp. And it's the start of the other week when they played Penrith, and Penrith were down to 12, and they just could not close the deal. Like, a top tier team would have put 50 points on a 12-man outfit when you'd already scored 30 before half time. Like, even out there
that
dicking
last 20
around.
minutes, it was Parramatta that was out on their feet.
Even out there dicking around, you still have no excuse for not laying 20 points on a 12-man outfit. Like, credit to Penrith. Like, credit to Penrith for defending that. But that showed for me, Para aren't really a threat come finals time.
Don't need to be a threat come finals time to put the
Yeah, with
yeah,
that,
through the Bulldogs this week.
I don't think they trump us by 40 either.
Does this make Matto someone like that juicy against the Dogs? Like, where's the Dogs' weakness lie?
It's not on Sivo because I think he's gone back-to-back under 20s against us. So I wouldn't be backing him too hard. In saying that, he probably came out and scored 3 tries now. I've talked shit.
Well, that is your weakest side.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
That's
actually.
that's Carraz's side. That's decent, that
Your
side.
right side's good. You
Yeah.
let in 19 tries down there this year.
Yeah.
So that's less than 1 a game.
So that's okay.
So maybe sit Sivo this week.
Yeah. Who would you play, though? Would you play your Mattos or...
I'd play Matto.
Carraz, a few people have still got Carraz.
Yeah, I'd like Kraz's work rate's good, so
But his base is low. It's 25 or something. It's but still okay for a non-try scoring game.
I probably wouldn't play him if I still had him.
And Gutho would be the only other person I think might be relevant in that game.
Well, Mitchell Moses back.
IPAP as well, actually.
Is he really?
Oh, iPap's just
Yeah, he's a
team
walk-up
every week.
start. Yeah.
But is he a chance of hooking those attacking stats this week
Yeah, it's a chance anyway,
Anyway.
really.
against
Yeah.
the Dogs?
We have muscled up a bit. So that's the Saturday day game, yeah?
Yeah, so Mitchell Moses back. So Jake Arthur goes to the reserves list. Sorry, Parramatta fans. Bailey Simonson's listed amongst the reserves as he needs a return. Luke Thompson and Tavita Pengai Jr. have been named amongst the reserves for the Bulldogs, so it could be late inclusions. It's Thompson's first listing since round 12 concussion.
Yeah.
And Tavita Pengai Jr. missed the New Zealand trip for personal reasons, so...
Yeah.
Matt Burton got off his charge.
Good stuff. That's what we like. So then the next day game is Sharks Manly. Now, for me, you can bank money in this game. I think Manly pretty much give up. Their forwards will still do their job, but I don't think they're going to throw up too much of a fight after getting trumped by the Titans like that.
You got DCE and Garrick in there. It's in a lot of people's teams.
Well, I do
not
feel-
a lot, but you know.
Well,
there's-
Olakau'atu.
yeah.
If any attacking stats are coming, and Olakau'atu got robbed to try last
See, I
week.
think Olakau'atu I put in that same boat as IPAP. If you can just expect him to just do what he does each week, he's got about 50 sort of base, 45, 50 base. But with that try and with those attacking stats, line breaks and stuff, pumps him up.
Yeah,
70s, 80s.
I'm thinking about not playing him this week.
Look-
Really?
Yeah.
You think they've given up? Their season's over.
Yeah.
I thought about selling him myself this week.
And the Sharks pretty good defensively. Yeah, hard to break down, so
Finucane back.
I can see a 40 to 50 for Olaquatu this week.
But if I'm wrong, and Manly do rip, tear, bust and prove us all wrong, Garrett could also be a sneaky VC, as long as he's in your centre wing.
The biggest thing that goes against Manly is Cooler shifts to the wing, subs out, Harper back, but Jake Voivovic gone for the season.
Yes.
Breaking in. So the glue that
Yeah,
any chance of holding Manly together, he's now out, not on the field for the rest of the year. So it could be a debacle out there.
Go on, sorry, Brad.
And the Sharks, Toby Rudolph's done his medial, so he's looking at a month out. So Braden Hamlin comes in, Andrew Feeder back on the bench. Talakai remains sidelined with a shoulder. But Connor Tracy and Matt Moylan are back on deck with Brady Trindle and Matt Ikabalu and Jesse Colquhoun out.
Right. And then, so yeah, that's where I'll be looking. Now, the next game's where I'll be putting me captain, me Big C, on the ever faithful. For me, I'll be going Teddy, because I only own Teddy out of these three. But Teddy, Suwali, he's been doing his own work. He's been very impressive the last few weeks for me.
If you're behind, I think Suwali is a good option this week.
Well, you've got stats on this, haven't you? You've got some numbers crunched.
Who are they up against?
Tigers. Yeah, you said the Tigers' left side sucks. Almost lets in 2 tries a game, and the Roosters' right side almost goes 2 tries a game. So
you can pretty much go for 4 down that side.
It could be a good week down that side for Manu, Butcher, and Sualiti.
Well, I've got Joey Manu up next on the list because the way he's been coming in doing the second fullback run and roll, like you've seen bobbed up way over on the far left sometimes. And I find that he's normally doing that tackle 2 or 3, so he gives himself time to get back to his spot ready for kick. So he's really playing his game smart, Joey, and he fucking breaks a tackle, man.
He loves it, bro. The speed and the intensity that he comes at the line with, and that he challenges the aerials with, is insane, bro.
Yeah.
You don't want that running at you.
Gun, but I'm still backing Teddy in over them. You got any more people you'd back in for a sneaky captain or?
Nah, I think those 3 are your picks.
Yeah.
For the week.
Yeah.
Go crazy and go Dewey again.
Not too outrageous this week.
No.
I've got something on the line this week.
So yeah, I couldn't really pick anyone out of the other side confidently. Sorry, Tigers supporters.
So who's the night game? Caps off Super Saturday.
That was the night game, Roosters Tigers. The Sunday
Sharks game was before that, wasn't it?
Sunday day game is the
Dragons Titans.
If you really want to go stupid with a pod captain, maybe like
don't do it.
Just don't even listen.
Not do it. You're right. You get some money.
Just play your Fifi and play your Tino if you still have them, and
your Fermor's been going okay.
If you're
sure
rocking Titans outside backs or spine, then I don't think you've been listening to us all year. So
it was good to see Fifi try on the weekend.
Well, I was expecting more points, to be brutally honest, after I've seen the try, so I was still a bit disappointed. But what do you do? That Supercoach might be confidence thing. He might bring us home in a wet sail.
Hopefully.
Now.
Hopefully he produces big time for me this week.
And then the last game,
Knights Raiders.
That's where you've also looked at some pod action against your beloved Knights. Now that they've sort of even been more decimated with Bradman. Well, no, it's not a big deal, but Bradman at best and Tuala being ruled out as well. Just brings him more.
Well, now
New South Wales Cup
I haven't
people.
checked the lineup, but I think that makes now Edric Lee, Best, Tuala, and Dom Young our 4 starting outside backs all out this week.
Plus KP.
Back 5.
Yeah.
And plus 6 and 7.
You're a shambles.
Terrible.
So yes, with that, would you just play these people, or would you sneakily whack a captain on like a Hudson Young or a Parner or someone like that down there, or just take the points?
Oh, you'd have to be really desperate to do that. And to go past that Roosters against the Tigers game, I think you'd be pretty silly this week.
Well, Teddy against his old team, that's what he always sort of reminds him.
I think, yeah, that's where I'd be definitely locking my C in.
Yeah. What if you're behind, Con?
But the Knights do let in over 2 tries a game on their right-hand side. Hudson Young plays on the left. Jackie Boy plays on the left.
Well, you've got some numbers there. I just want to ask you, like, all of them? Okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I wouldn't pick a captain out of the other team. There's no one really at Newcastle chugging along nice enough for me to say, hey, throw a sneaky pod on. It's just not happening up there for you guys. I feel bad.
You shouldn't even own any Knights at this time of year.
All right, so just out of all these sort of players, pick 3, if not 4, just because matchups this week. Who do we need to grab out of these guys? Like, who's going to score ideally in our statistical world that we live in? Who should be scoring the most points out of these games? And if you have trades and don't have these players, who do you grab? And if you do have these players, who do you sit over, like, preference-wise?
Well, obviously, you grab the Roosters 3 first.
Definitely, eh?
Teddy, Manu, and Suoliti.
Yep.
And then probably played behind.
Cows or the Sharks?
Yeah, see, the Cows are... I don't think Val and Drinky are that heavily owned like your Teddy's, Manus, and stuff like that. They're pretty much 100% owned in the top 10,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, they're the pod options.
That's where you're looking at for your pod VC. And if it fails, you've always got the backup of Teddy, which basically 8 out of 10 super coaches, unless they're coming falling behind, should be running Teddy this week. That's another thing you should be watching this week. If you have your Suwalis and your Manus and your Teddies, then if you're losing at some point to Watto, you need to have a look at maybe, well, if he's going to go Teddy, you might have to think, well, can Joey Manu outdo Teddy, or Suwali outdo Teddy this week, just to get yourself a little point of difference and some extra point. You might fall flat on your face.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Right,
that's a big risk. I mean, I would prefer to go with the percentage play and just match his captain in that.
But what if you can't catch the points if you do that? I mean, like, that's where you...
It depends on the differential of players, and, I mean, for us, that'll be decided. I mean, I'm Panthers heavy. He's...
Cows heavy.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm Panthers and South heavy, if anything. So I'll know in that first game.
Yeah. So, yeah, you do have you've got work to do, Juzzy, this week, I feel like, to match Watto. Watto's been up there all year. His team's solid.
Yeah.
So you've crept in to the 8, like, no offence, but you've crept into the 8. So you always knew from day dot you've got work to do every week, just about. And for me, what do you got trades-wide left?
2.
If you can get away with just using 1 this week, I heavily suggest you do that.
But is there any point in me saving a trade for next week if I don't make it next week? Because I really don't think there is.
There's not. But if you can, like you said, you'll know in that first game whether or not you'll have to use 2 or not.
Yeah, it's a question of whether one of those or some of those are going to be in my trade options, which they might be, even just for dual position. So it might screw the pooch if I do that. That's what I've got to look and assess, because I'm trying to work it out. Like, these Cows heavy, do I go that way, or do I go
not
Roosters heavy because of their matchup this week?
If you look at his team compared to your team last week, you've only got 3 or 2 outside backs in your differential, where he's running Val Holmes, Garrick, and Manu, and then plus he's got DCE, Hines, and Drinkwater, all high ceiling players. Where if you look at your team, you got Kikau, Yo, Harris, Lolo, Madison, all base.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, that's what's done it for me. That's what's worked. When they pick up those attacking stats,
if the Cowboys fail to deliver against the Warriors,
I mean, Warriors can turn up to a game. We know that.
And Manly don't turn up with Garrick and Chairs, then
you're in for massive shout.
Favourite. But if the Cowboys do turn up and put 60 on Tigers, well, then you're behind the 8 ball
Warriors
from Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And I'm also abundantly aware of that. That's what I mean. And I've only got one chance to make this
And you got
decision and do it right.
It's $2,000. Yeah, it's $2,000.
Allegedly.
I'd be getting him Val and Manu.
Val and Manu. You reckon hedge your bets? Go a Cowboy and a Rooster. Yeah.
I think they're probably the two biggest potential this week that he has that you don't have.
Do you agree with Con? Put it in the Facebook comments. We're going to get some live questions in a second.
I really do actually agree with Con there. I love Joey Manu. I know his draw goes to shit next week for you. So if you do bring him in, it's one of them 1 week
Like I
plays.
said, it's do or die, mate. It's all or nothing this week.
That's it, but then I might not be able to play him next week,
You
and
don't-
that could ruin me in the grand final.
Oh, you're
But
still playing.
you don't want to not bring him in. He goes 160, cost you this week. And you go, oh, if
What
I
if?
did.
What if?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, for me, Joey Manu still does well next week. Might not put on scores he's going to put on this week. But he still does well. He's still doing a different job than just standing out there at left centre waiting for the ball, or right centre waiting for the ball.
So, just quickly, right, while I go contemplating trade options for the week and who I am going to bring in, how do I afford it is my big question. Do I trade Trell if he's not going to play, if he's dropped out by the captain's run?
For me, I think if he doesn't play, then that's where you'll get your money from to do this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he doesn't play and I trade him, then
You can do.
I can do anything, right? Because he's top dollar. But, as Brad would say, what if he's back next week? He could be the clincher in that grand final if I do manage to get there, and I can possibly make it work somewhere else. It's going to make it tough.
It is a tough one.
But do you trade Trell? If he's not playing this week and you're all or nothing in your head-to-heads, do you trade him out?
It will depend on the rest of the makeup of your team. If you've got another very decent player coming in to cover him, like I say, hypothetically a Val or someone, I can see the merit in not trading and waiting a week.
Yeah.
Just because you got to have some sort of... You don't want to whack a bloke in there scoring 40s when Trell pump out a 120 that week, you know?
Yeah.
It's just not feasible for you when you can bring in a bloke who could get an 80, 90, if not more, you know? But if you can cover his hole without losing too much points, I sit him just because if he is coming back next week, they're going to need him to
If
make
he's
the
not
8
in this week, I think it'll only be a 1 week out.
play.
If he doesn't play this week, he'll definitely play next week.
So yeah, it's massive risk.
What would you do, Con? If you had Trell, would you hold a trade?
Well, I'd definitely be holding now, but if he was ruled out now before kick-off...
You're going to use that cash, or are you going to be able to try and get through?
Oh,
It is a tough one, isn't it? Like, I mean, because you look at it, it's easy money. You're like, bang, easy money. You could go to Val in a heartbeat and have 300k left to be able to do one final upgrade.
Go
Bang.
him to Manu and get Val in.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, there's a number of ways you could do it,
Yes.
but it wouldn't be hard. You know what I mean? Like, especially with that trail money. But if you don't have that just lurking around your team, which your average person's not going to at this point in the season, then
Most people running very thin on trades too. You boys are at a luxury point. I know quite a few people with nothing, and here we are, at least getting to express trades. You know, some people don't have it, and that's what you got to hope. You just come up against blokes with no trades.
I know Watto doesn't have many. He's got one, if any.
Well, I don't know how many Jacko's got either.
I don't know either.
He's had a very good team all year, so I'm not sure if he's just picked it great and he hasn't had to use many at all, or he's just burnt them.
He actually showed me a site where you can go to this site and type in anyone's team name, and it will show you their complete team history for the year. What trades they've done, when they've done it, everything. So you could go back and recount and say, oh, well, there's 37 trades done. He's got none.
Yeah.
Well, there's 34. He's got a couple in the bank. There could be Spanner's thrown in the works this weekend.
What's the site called?
I don't know, because
Okay.
he showed me at the Bucks party. Yeah.
Anyone out there know the site? And you're
Jacko, if you're listening, bud, let
Yes,
us
I
know.
have seen
If you're-
something like that go around through a Facebook group or something.
if you're desperately trying to get a win, go looking for this, guys. Sounds like it's a bit of a treasure. So yeah, you'll definitely be able to know what's not going on, but you'll definitely be able to know if something's going to happen this week. Like if you went through and counted up all what those trades he's used, you know he can't attack you with any more than what he's got.
If you wanted to go deep into it, you could go back and look at the trades he's done, work out the cash,
He's got
where the
left,
cash
yeah.
is gone, see how much cash he's got now, and if he does have a trade, you can say, all right, well, the highest he can go is to this person, or he can go sideways to this guy, but he can't upgrade so-and-so to there.
Yeah, hectic. All right, you're going to do some liveys.
Yeah, I'm just looking through them at the moment. Let's start at the top.
Then we'll pull up Brad's PPM for the week.
Yeah. No, you do the liveys because I've got to get Brad's PPM set up for the week. You only just reminded
I
me.
can't do the live.
Yeah, you
Can
can.
we?
100%.
Here you go.
Berg's got them there.
Scroll through.
Oh, is at the top? Yeah. All right. Michael Dekai. Head-to-head cashy ×2. Oh, on the line, last two trades. Bringing in Murray and Garrick or Murray and Cotter. Oh.
See, for someone like me, that's scary that my opponent could bring in two players like that.
I don't like Murray Garrick at all. I mean, Garrick against the Sharks this week. I wouldn't be bringing him in personally. I don't know if these are just to match opponents. But I like Murray. I don't like so much like Garrick. Cotter's, yeah.
Cotter's solid 65, I think.
He's getting better each week.
So,
I'd be looking for more points than base.
We'll say you'd be going Garrick then.
I'd be looking at a Suoliti or
He might already have.
Like
Might
a Drinky
already
or a
have.
Val from the Cowboys or the Roosters or
But they're
not Manly, who we think to giving up for the year against one of the better defensive teams in the comp.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't be getting I'm playing Garrick this week just out of due that it's him or Katoni Stags. At least he kicks goals.
Yeah, well,
So that's my options. That's why I'm playing Garrick. But if I had options and didn't have to,
but if I had to pick out of those, so I'd probably go Murray Cotter.
I would too, just on the base factor of Cotter. He's solid
And
65 points.
Favourable matchup for the Cotter this week. He could bust through the middle there and jag himself a try.
Yep. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, Peter. Will Nenner finally stand up and be counted after these 2 weeks? Yep, I think he will this week. Throw the C on him, bud.
BC at least.
Would you trade Trell if he doesn't play this week? You just discussed that. Cool's Meat Pie got me over the line. Oh, sorry. Peter. Meat Pie got him over the line by 12. One more week till GF. Well done, Pete.
Get there, bro.
Sean O'Vairett. G'day, lads. Week off.
Sure.
Make that GF in head-to-heads. Moved up another 70 spots. Top 500 overall. But it's all about Trell. Will he or won't he play is the question. Only time can answer that one, Shawnee. Unfortunately, I wish I had a crystal ball that would tell me, but
For me, if he's fit enough, like if it's not just that little tiny bit of soreness,
yeah.
I think he has no choice but to play for them to be contenders, you know?
Yeah, well, they do still have a outside shot at the top 4, so there is a bit riding on it.
Yeah. So if he's fit enough, I feel they play him.
Yeah. Hey, boys, one trade left. Suoliti or Brimson? Thoughts? Suoliti all day. Daniel, Michael?
Yeah, Brimson is... Look, he's been going okay.
Yeah.
He really has, but...
That matchup with Suoliti this week.
It's juicy.
I think Brimson's got back-to-back decent ones about the Dragons this week, and I'm not sure who it is next week. I'll have to get back to that. But I'd go Suoliti.
Well, the Roosters they're in sort of that logjam trying to get to the 8th and shit, eh? Like,
Playing some really good football too.
yeah, so I'm looking at, like, I know Toops is on one side, but he's really been doing his own stuff. Suali, like, he takes mad hit ups up the guts and stuff. So I back in Suwali there.
Peter Elder again, no trade since round 20.
Fuck, Pete.
19 guns, plus King, Karaz, and May, and 3.5. Fingers crossed. Good luck, Pete.
Get there,
Hope you hold
Pete.
out. Sean O'Bear at Suwali for the Pod VC move might be the play. Even though I have Teddy Manu, Big C on Munster at fullback, plus
See, I'll be going the
Dollar
other.
on Cotter to get big this week.
I'd be going the other
Maybe.
way around there. You'd probably have to play Munster VC because he plays the Friday.
Yeah, Munster plays first.
Yeah, so you'd want a VC Munster.
Yeah.
Or just big balls up on him, Shauno.
No, just big balls up on Suwali as your captain.
Yeah.
VC Munster, if he goes big, loop him. If not, ride Suwali in.
Yep.
Bradley Baxter. McInnes, Garrick, Lolo. Have to play 2 and sit 1. I'm sitting Garrick.
I sat Lolo last week and I don't see much changing this week, to be honest. So I'll probably sit him again.
No, that's not bad because usually high-scoring games, middle forwards don't do great unless they grab
Score
the tack
tries.
and sat in there.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm sitting Lolo for
I
me
like
this
that,
week.
mate.
Yeah.
Turn me around. Sean Bayrett, the word is meaning to 6 and Munster to play FB this week.
Yeah.
But who knows what Bellyache will pull out of his hat. Must has to play 6.
I think just watching the last
1, sorry.
last 2 weeks of football, like they've been clunky up until that point. They haven't scored many points and they just haven't looked the goods. And then the last 2 weeks they've fucking looked the goods.
Yeah.
And that's off the back of that dude playing 1. We talked about it all year. He's the fittest he's ever been, and it takes you to be fit to play that role. So, and if he's the fittest he's ever been, you might as well use it while you got it.
Yeah. Timmy O'Connor. Evening, gents. Still in 5 head-to-heads.
Timmy.
And have a buy also in one of my cashies. 5 trades and a boost left. Fucking hell. Who is
Right? Good on you, Timmy. That's insane. But that means, like, he can literally...
Do anything.
He can match his team to any opponent this week or next. And in theory, does he have to use those trades?
Not if his
Well,
matchup's strong.
Who is the best halfback for the next 2 weeks as I still have Cleary?
Ooh, Con,
You'd have
I'm going to
Nico.
throw that question to you.
Nico.
Because to be honest, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, Nico's clearly the next
He's
best
got to
option.
already have Nico in the half position and he's managed to rest Cleary. There's no way he's gotten through to head-to-head finals not playing a half.
Oh, you would have had Ezra Man or something like you'd have to think.
DCE maybe.
So then next down from Nico, I'm just saying Nico's got pretty high ownership. So, who would be your next, half?
Well, I don't know how he done last week, but Tommy did, and Brad Spears in Tommy did a couple of weeks back.
I mean, Ezra Mam's actually been doing all right.
He's got a pretty juicy match up this week too, Tommy.
I'm liking, Tommy Dearden's passing the eye
Ben
test
Hunt.
for me.
Ooh, I like Ben Hunt.
Oh, and yet you both said don't touch anyone in that game.
Because I don't know Ben Hunt.
Well, he's got the Titans this week and then the Tigers next week.
So he's got a
So
real
for
nice
head-to-head
run.
finals time, they're 2 pretty good teams you'd like to come up against. I
Yeah.
know the Dragons haven't been spectacular, but they put up a good show against Raiders on the weekend. So
Those teams aren't
Benny Hunt
necessarily
wants to
known
rally
for
in.
their defensive resolve. Yeah, that's it. And he can score points. He can pick teams apart.
He's the best they got. He's the best they got there. So
Yeah, okay.
I like
Benny
Hunt.
Hunt, sneaky pod.
get on Manu. Scott Smith, sorry. Get on Manu was a little bit quiet. He'll go large this week, in my opinion. I like that.
Scotty knows he's a rooster man.
Bradley Baxter. Site is Fantasy Pro, then click on Fantasy Pro SC. That must be where you get the team details.
Cheers, Brad.
Thank you, Bradley.
All right, speaking of Bradley's, I've got Brad Smith's PPM, so why don't we get to that? If you've got any more questions.
video?
Yeah. So if you've got any more questions, then throw them in there. I'll throw them in the live and we'll get to them after the video, but I'm very
Hang
curious
on,
to see
I've
what...
only got
It's all good.
no more. They're all just replying to each other. Good on you, fellas. Way to help each other out.
All right, well, here's Brad. Why isn't Brad getting any fucking audio? No, I can't hear Brad. I don't know if they can hear Brad. I don't think they can hear Brad.
No, can't hear Brad.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work one out. Yeah, take me a second.
Okay, snap back. Are we back? Yeah. All right, we can't work out something. So, that's Brad miming the PPMs. I hope you're all onto it.
He got through his PPM this week, Brad. He smashed it out.
Smashed it out, hopefully.
Oh, here we go.
That's Brad miming the PPMs. So that's me.
That's my bad.
Oh, that's gone looking for Brad. Yeah, so anyway, just quickly, captain choices for the week for you. Like, we've already done them, I know, but could you think of anyone in one of them shitter games to just throw the wind up anyone? No? Alright. And what advice do we give to Juzzy to get his win the 100 comp? Manu Bao. Lovely. Have we worked out anything for Brad over there? Chuck me that so I can do these questions we've got on the actual Facebook while he works that out.
Well, this week you're also not just looking at those great matchups for, like we just said, who you sit this week too. Are there those players that are absolute standouts not to play this week?
Well, like your Lolos, like someone like that.
No, I don't know if he's so much standout.
But
if I had a extra spot there and I might not play Dewey this week against the Roosters.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the Tigers, the way they've been going, and the Roosters are hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. It's not bad. All right, Jared Watson asking for a friend. How many Cowboys players is too many? He's thinking of going Targo to Cotter with his last trade. That would be his 5th Cowboy. Pull the trigger or nah?
I've got all 5 of those, so I can't say no.
Well, look, for me, if it's the same, it's the age-old question. If they're scoring the points as a team, then we've had up to 7 or 8 players from teams in the past. I think it was Penrith that year. We had several players from that side, and I think there was a Melbourne or a Roosters side a few years ago as well. You could have heavily stacked with your side. So, for me, if you think if Ruben Cotter's a bit more matchup proof than Targo's relying heavily on attacking stats, whereas Cotter, he's giving you what he gets, and if he gets an attacking stat, he's doing what Targo's doing anyway with attacking stats, you know. So I'd jump on Cotter, but for me, Watto, just on the down low, I'd be watching what Juzzy's doing. I'd be fucking waiting until the Thursday, just check what's going on. Yeah.
Tango also plays the Warriors in GF week.
Yeah, I know.
So,
is there another way for you to get to Cotter? Maybe, Watto?
I'd like Tango for GF week if I could.
Is that the week Nate's back or Nars a week later, isn't it? Nate's not back till first week finals. Yeah, so no, Targo's still not that appealing then. Not as appealing without halves there. So yeah, no, I'd do that trade. I'd pull the trigger. Cotter's a solid 65, and with them injuries he's had, I feel he's had his rest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whereas there's a chance next week Targo gets a rest just out of nowhere because he hasn't had one.
Well, I'm hoping Cotter starts getting back to 80 very quickly before finals time. I hope that's Toddy's plan.
Yeah. Well, he's a beast. He needs to be out there. He does the work. Brad Smith, does 2 Newcastle players being caught in the same toilet cubicle mean that the Knights will be joining in on inclusivity round next year? Con, you are our Knights spokesman. What happened in the toilets?
I have absolutely no idea. I can't say each way, but either way, it's...
If you had to take a guess, Con, like hypothetically...
I'm saying they're racking up cocaine.
Ooh, on the booger sugar, eh?
100%.
No, they're doing something.
There's only two reasons why two blokes go in the toilet together, and it's to
What's
do,
the other reason?
it's to do drugs or
Ask
to
Kurt Catewell.
have some sexual pleasures.
Ooh.
So you pretty
The
much
thing-
got a 50-50
The whole
option.
of his story is his old man come out and said, oh, you know, he's in there holding his mate's hair back.
He does
or
have long hair, so
rah, but they both come out walking with their drinks like suave as. Like, no spew, no one's looking dusty.
yeah.
So what-
I ain't buying that
what's
shit.
that dragon thing called? There was no dragons. Rah.
See those lines?
Eh? Yeah, definitely something going on there. Nah, whatever. But yeah, it's one of them things for the night. She's had a rough year and then shit like that as well. Poor
It's
bastards.
just our captain leading by example.
Yeah, well. Come on our podcast. Michael Dackite, do you boys think Taff comes in for the Taree Ferrari?
Yeah, if he's ruled out.
No,
I
not
was about to say, is
Nico
he
or
getting
anything.
extended?
I'm not sure. I didn't look at the extendeds, but yeah, and that'd be if only if he's not right. I still think he'll be pushing the clock to get right for me, Latrell. I don't know if he's heavily involved unless he needs to be, but he's, for me, they don't look half the team without him in it.
It's
So-
important that he's there for if they come up against Penrith in the finals. You know what I mean? More so than this week. I mean, are they vying for top 4 spot? I'm not even sure what the lad's looking like at this point of the season.
I think they are. Like, Souths are. Souths are vying for top 4. Also, Anton, does his own shit. He loves the Warriors. Go, Anton. How to deal with the sulky friend that dominated the season but was knocked out of the finals. How do you deal with shit like that? You just hammer that fucker's
I
life.
chuckle, yeah.
Yeah, you walk
Been
around.
too early, bud. What's your missus reckon?
Bro, you walk around and swing it for the rest of the year until January next year.
That's it. If you come 2000s, yeah, you've had a great year, well done. But if
Yeah.
you got beaten in your head-to-head by a group of 20 mates and you come 12th or whatever, that's shit year after that.
Yeah.
That's 11 dudes giving you shit.
Well, if you remember that year, I did okay. I was terrible head-to-header. Like, terrible. 1-0. Everyone had their best weeks against me head-to-head. But I was chugging along top 1% for basically the year. And I fucking swung it, too, for the year. And so I know exactly what this wanker's all about. I hope it's not you, Anton, but yeah.
Asking for a friend.
Just asking for a friend. That's it. You get the Brad thing going.
Like what? Nah, I don't think so. I don't.
Okay, can
Not
we
sure.
read Brad's thing?
No, I think we're pretty much.
Yeah,
I
like,
th-
read it
well,
out.
no,
of
I
there.
head to the Brad's put up a PPM. Make sure you head to the website supercoach360.com.
Should I
Check
read
it
it?
out there. Nah.
Right, sweet. If you want, yeah, check it out. It's great write-ups. Next year, I am looking for some people to do some more write-ups. So if you think that sort of stuff's for you, drop us a line at Supercoach360 on Facebook, and we'll have a chat.
Supercoach Fantasy Pro or Fantasy Pro.
Don't know, but cheers, Brad, for that. That was awesome.
I don't think that was Brad. Oh yeah, it was. It was different Brad, wasn't it? Brad Baxter. All right, sweet. We're waffling on. Thanks for listening. We'll
Peace.
see you next week. Good luck.